If you're in Seattle, and you need to buy or sell a home, we'll be right there for you. Because we're the realtors that you can trust. So go to ronanddonsitdown.com.
You're listening to The Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Hey, you guys, what's going on? And welcome to another edition of the Ron and Don Show. And guess where we are? We are live back here in the Les Schwab studio.
What is up, Ron and Don Nation?
Hey, coming up on the Ron and Don Show, let's talk Halloween candy because it is that time of year. Happy October to everyone. By the October. Where does
October.
That October.
Oh, my God.
I spent too much time up in Winnipeg recently. So we'll talk about that. Also, Jimmy is back. Before we get to that, though, let's get to this. What did Cal Rowley say last night? Can we say it on our podcast? Did you see that?
Bleep it out.
After the Mariners win? You guys didn't hear it in the stadium?
I was in the stadium.
I know.
So I didn't hear the interviews.
They clinched going to the playoffs, and they handed him the trident, and he said, you know what? While we're here, let's just go win the whole thing.
Wow.
Anyway, you were there last night. What happened? And congratulations to the Seattle Mariners.
I got to tell you this story. So it's on the precipice of clinching, and for those of you that are not baseball fans, you need a certain number of wins to clinch, and depending on how far ahead you are from the second place team in your division, you could. So there are teams that have been clinched for a long time because they're 10 games ahead of the second place. So we needed this win to clinch. So I went out on TickPick and I found a couple seats, and I was like, okay, what if Cal, the big dumper, TICK, TickPick, and so because they have all the fees included, they don't all the other ones. It's Ticketmaster, like you end up in your shopping cart and you're like, oh, there's $900 of fees here. So I was like, okay, it's possible that the big dumper could hit a home run because he's been on a tear. Where can I get a seat in big dumper home run territory?
Oh, wow.
So I found a couple seats for me and my gal.
Did you bring your glove?
No, but I had.
Then you're not serious.
I'm serious.
You
I don't
didn't
even
bring
have a glove. I don't have a glove.
A grown-ass man who brings a glove to a game because they know they're going to get ridiculed, they're serious about catching a home run ball. You weren't serious.
I don't own a glove.
You weren't serious.
I don't own a glove.
You spend the money to sit in the section and you don't have a glove? You don't think I have a glove? I couldn't. Matt, you got a glove. Of course you have a glove. Boy Scout, you're a Boy Scout. You have everything.
I don't own a glove.
Next time, call me if you're actually serious about catching a cow.
I feel like I could compete with people down for the ball. So I'm there. I'm in the stands, sort of by the Jumbotron. And so I'm getting settled in, ready to watch the game. It's a big, important game. And these three guys in their 20s, maybe late 20s.
I bet they had gloves.
One guy had a glove.
See? Told you.
And his girlfriend or wife, they come in, and I'm on the, I like to sit on seat one.
Yes.
So I am a seat one. I will pay extra to sit on seat one.
Ron and I go to the movies. We don't even sit in the same row. You sit in the seat one, I sit in the seat one, but we don't sit together.
Right. So I'm on seat one.
As grown-ass men should do.
I'm on seat one.
Yeah.
I don't want a bunch of people going in and out because I'm on seat one. That's why I got seat one.
That's it.
So the four guys go in, and I get up, and they go in, and I'm like, great. And so every single middle of an inning and the top of an inning, at least one of these guys gets up, and he has to get out of the row.
He's not going for garlic fries, is he? Because when people come back with garlic fries, which I cannot stand, it'll drive me out of the stadium.
So it's three guys.
Yeah.
Top and bottom of every inning, at least one or two of them are getting up and going. So around the sixth or seventh inning,
I bet they're vaping.
We turn to the lady, the girlfriend.
Vaping.
No.
Yeah, they are.
She goes, I have to apologize. And I go, what's up?
My boyfriend's on a catheter.
No, she goes, these guys, for whatever reason, have a competition going. They all want to see if they can eat a hot dog and drink a beer for every inning.
I love them now.
So she's
That's
like
baseball.
She's like, we're talking 27 hot dogs.
Wow, the long ones or the short ones? You didn't.
I didn't. They were just in the ones in the regular foil wrapper.
They have big ones now.
So she's like 27 hot dogs, 27 beers between these three friends.
Oh my gosh!
And so they're getting and they were polite.
Were they sharing the beer and the hot dog?
No, each guy had to eat a hot dog and a beer.
You think you'd die
every inning, and they're sitting next to each other. Yeah. I'm watching the game, so I'm not paying attention.
You're trying to get a ball without a glove, which you all know is not going to happen.
I'm trying to pay attention to the game,
right?
And so these guys, all I know is they're getting up and down every single inning going.
That's
in and
all
out.
you know.
And so I look over, and she's mortified. She's like, I know it's stupid. They've been friends forever. They're
not stupid at all.
They're
It's awesome.
competing.
Yeah, they
and
should
so, and then the guy at one point turns to me like, sorry, dude, they only give me 2 beers at a time. And he's got an armful of hot dogs. So I don't know how they were doing the payment system or what, but like, so 1 or 2 of the guys get up every inning.
Wow.
And they're going for, so we get to the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Mariners are down. It's 3-1 against the Rockies, one of the worst teams in baseball.
Worst teams.
My brother is rubbing it in because he's a Colorado Rocky guy
he
since
is.
the day they founded.
Yeah.
He's texting me. My phone's blowing up, and it's 2 on.
Can I just say this if Rob's listening? Hey, Rob, the Rockies. Go ahead.
Man, you're real salty
That's
today.
okay. I can say that. We're friends. Yeah.
So,
we've traveled together.
So here it is, 8th inning. We're down by 2 runs. 2 men on. The big dumper comes up. I'm right there.
I thought you were at the baseball game.
I'm at the baseball game.
There's 3 men on.
Not when Cal came up.
Oh, not when Cal came up.
When
That's
Cal
right.
came up, there
Cal
was
came up.
2 men on.
It's when Nails came up.
And
Naylor.
it's like home run is we're ahead. We still have to get 3 outs in the 9th, but we're ahead. If Cal, so I'm right there.
Yeah.
I'm like right in the line for this Cal, and it could be a historic baseball. I'm like, if I get this ball, he hits a home run
With no glove.
I'm going to battle for it.
Are you going to give it back to Cal?
No, because this ball will be worse if this ends up being his last home run of the year. He'll beat Griffey, be the biggest switch hitter of all time. This will be a very valuable baseball.
Can we stop the show for a moment? Because I have a question.
Stop the show.
What the hell's the matter with you?
I'm not giving that ball back.
Did you see what happened with the 58th ball?
No.
The 58th ball, the Mariners are there kicking the Astros' ass. And we're going to cuss a little bit today when we're talking about the Mariners. They're kicking them in the and there's a guy out in the bullpen for the Astros. He grabs the ball and then after the game went and presented it to
This is a
Cal.
ball player. The guy
What if-
makes $7
what if
million
they-
a year.
What if they said, hey, you're Ron of the Ron and Don. We remember you from Cairo 30 years ago. Why don't you come down to the dugout?
I would do
we'll
that.
Give you some bubble gum, and you can present the 59th ball to Cal, even though you're at a ball game without a glove.
I am a professional negotiator. I would negotiate a deal, but it's not going to be for bubblegum.
Okay.
So 2 men on. We're down by 2. The big dumper, home run king of the Mariners all time is up to bat. I am in prime position to catch this home run's historic ball and then negotiate the terms. We clinch the playoffs, the whole thing.
Yep.
And so my girlfriend turns to me. She goes, I think this guy's going to throw up. So this guy is now 8 hot dogs in.
Oh, my God.
8 beers in, and they're switching their beers. Now I'm starting to pay attention. 1 inning, it's Bud Lights. The next inning is a microbrew. The
Can't do
next
that.
inning, so they're switching their beers back and forth. They're going pilsners and then ales, and so it's who knows what beer they're
You
on.
said they're in their 20s?
Probably mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s at the latest.
That's a rookie beer hot dog move. At
And
a
so
baseball
she's
game.
like, and I think this guy's going to hurl.
Yeah.
And I look over, and he's looking a little bit shaky at this point, 8 hot dogs in. And I'm like, I can't deal with projectile vomit when I'm trying to catch
You're not.
a record-setting baseball.
You're in seat 1, she's in seat 2. So
Right,
you're
she's closer.
Yeah, so you know what?
She's closer.
If you love her,
No, I'm not
do
switching
you love
seats.
her?
I'm not switching seats.
If you love her, you would jump in 2.
No.
You would deal with the puke. You would sit her and protect her and put her over in seat
So
1.
Cal fouls a couple off that may have been home runs had they been hit fair. Fouls a couple off in the right field line, and then he gets called on to just a weak strike 3
Watch
pitch.
her language. Wow. Can't believe you.
So then,
what the hell's the matter with you?
of course, the second batter gets hit, and then a 3-run double gets hit, and of course
By
the
Josh
clinch.
Naylor.
And so, and then as soon as we clinched in the top of the 9th, I was out of there because you know how I like to avoid rush
What
hour.
was the crowd like?
Crowd was packed. It was very in the middle innings when we were down by 2 to the Rockies. There was that Mariner lull.
Yeah.
But then as it came back to the end, they did this thing that I've never seen before. And you've been to a couple games. I think it was at the end of the 7th inning stretch. They have this whole turnout. They turn out all the lights.
Yep.
And they turn on this Mariner blue light and have this big hype up video. And in my mind, I'm sort of going, we're down by 2 runs here.
They stole that from Banana Ball.
Really?
Banana Ball was just in town.
The Savannah Bananas?
They packed the Mariner Stadium, 47,000
Yeah.
for a couple nights in a
And the
row.
Jamie Moyer pitch.
You couldn't get a seat. there's 3.5 million people in line to watch Banana Ball. Banana Ball started in 2020. They now have a TV deal. If you haven't followed the guy, his name is Jesse Cole, and he's the guy that wears the yellow suit with the yellow hat. He was a guy that played baseball that thought he'd play in the pros. He got hurt in the minor leagues, never made it. And then he decided, you know what? I want to create a game where 1 billion fans can come, where they can have fun, where it honors the game of baseball, but it also makes kids laugh, play, and want to. Because the thing that he noticed when he went to the game is that he didn't see enough kids, and he wanted to see more people in the stands. So they invented Banana Ball with one team, and it was the Bananas playing the Bananas. Next year, they're going to have 8 different teams. And again, his goal, they said, are you ever going to sell it? He said, no. They said, but you could sell it for millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah, easy.
And he said, I have no interest in that. He goes, my only interest is to connect with 1 billion fans. He said, we'll never sell.
So that hype video idea was Savannah Bananas?
In fact, I saw one of their hype videos. It's very, very good. And you're right. Jamie Moyer came out, and some other Mariners came out, and then Walter came out, number 71, an old Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, nice.
And then
smart.
They had the lead singer from Train come out.
Nice.
That's what's really cool is they include the community every time they come, and then they make sure that the game is over in 2 hours.
The good thing is that the Seattle fans
was it packed?
It was pretty packed. I don't know if every seat was sold out.
It's gonna be. I looked online last night. The tickets. As soon as you can see them win, the tickets soar.
The Dodger tickets have been expensive.
How much is Dodger
The
ticket?
cheapest, really bad seat is $150 a ticket.
That's not bad.
I wanted to. If Shohei's pitching, I might splurge and go to one of those games.
I don't think he's going to pitch if they're heading into the playoffs. So.
We'll see. Because I've been looking every day, and because I've always wanted to see Shohei pitch. I kind of want to see him hit.
Yeah,
he's a phenomenon, probably the best baseball player of all time. So anyway, by the time I left, the 3 guys had kept the hot dogs down. I don't know if hot dog 9 made it all the way down because they were, we only had it at the top of the inning.
So they might have failed.
They were committed to 9 dogs and 9 beers.
Yeah.
I kind of like them too.
Yeah.
But it was annoying when I didn't know what the deal was.
Yeah. More in a minute.
If you find yourself dreaming about a new home, go from just a dream to the dream team. Schedule your time at ronanddonsitdown.com.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Ron and Don Show. Not only are we back, Jimmy Kimmel's back after 6 nights. By the time you've heard this, if he hasn't been taken off the air, when we're recording this, he had his first show last night. Did you get a chance to listen to the monologue,
or did you
get a chance to read it? By the way, we can't watch it here in Seattle because Como, Sinclair, and no one talks about this, they're a very religious organization. They're far right. It's one of the reasons why some of my friends over at Como, and in fact, basically their lead anchor, I used to work out with him over here, and I won't say who it is, but you may have heard some of his stories about little heroes. He said for him it was untenable to stay there, and so he just retired because there were stories that Sinclair was forcing on the newsroom, and there were stories they weren't allowing him to do. He's one of the best storytellers in the area. I don't think Sinclair and Como fit in the great Pacific Northwest. And I think what you're going to see is what we saw with Disney Plus and all the people canceling is Howard Stern came out and said, hey, I'm canceling. You look at Disney Plus. Last time I checked, it was somewhere between $4 and $5 billion that they've lost in the last 6 days. So did Disney Plus have to make a business decision? And how do you think, a double barrel question, how did Jimmy Kimmel do last night in handling this? Is he didn't apologize, it didn't bend a knee, and at the same time, he was trying to hit a certain tone with both sides?
Yeah, so let's do the first thing first. I actually did a bit of a deeper dive on the financials of this, and $5 billion is a lot of money, but when it comes to, that's unrealized losses in the stock market. And so for a company the size of Disney and what their entire valuation is, $4 billion is not a huge amount, and they will see fluctuations like that a lot. So for instance, let's say there's a the Federal Reserve comes out and the stock market drops, 50 points or 100 points that day, the Disney stock would fluctuate a couple $1 billion. So the fact that we can say it is technically accurate that it went down $5 billion, the stock price, I think that was less of a concern to them than a couple things. Number one, their previous CEO very publicly came out, I think Bob Iger, he was like, hey, Disney, and he's not the CEO anymore.
He's very well respected.
Very well respected.
Yeah.
A friend of mine that worked at Disney calls him Bobby Big Buttons because he wore this jacket with big buttons. He came out and just was like, hey, this is not the Disney way. We need to stand up to this. He had a very powerful social media post on this. And then I think the other thing that happened, you saw the cancellations, and then you saw people that are on Disney franchises, and every single Actors and Writers Guild come out against Disney. So I think the reputational cost to them was the thing that made them turn around. I don't think it was the $5 billion in stock, because that'll come back.
Do you think it was all the Disney people, though? Like, I have Disney people in my life, and everything's Disney. They go to Disney 3 times a year. Grown adults wear the I was almost said Bugs Bunny ears, but they wear the Mickey Mouse ears. They go on Disney cruises. Every home in their house is Disney.
I don't think there's a way that Disney will identify those people within 6 days. I think they probably heard the emails.
Well, those were the people that were going out online, though, that were very boisterous, that were showing videos and pictures of them at Disneyland or overseas or on a boat, and just say, hey, not only did I cancel my Disney Plus, but I canceled the boat ride, I canceled my travel, I canceled I completely canceled Disney, which was a business decision.
I think that it factored in, but I think the bigger thing was the social pressure of going, what is the best, worst option here? The option to cave to this administration's a bad option. The option to bring him back is kind of a bad option. What's the least bad option? I think the one they went with is the correct answer. Now, on to Jimmy Kimmel. The thing that I found interesting in this, and I think it still could happen, is his monologue was as good as it could be. And
what was good about it?
Well, it starts off with this, montage of how this is the most important monologue in television history, and it cuts to Jimmy and Guillermo. He's dressed in a big monkey outfit, Jimmy is, and Guillermo's a banana, and they're like, I guess we should change outfits. Yeah. And he comes in, there's no way to live up to that hype. And so he had a couple heartfelt messages where he's like, I was never trying to make fun of a young man that was murdered. And he also had a heartfelt moment about Charlie Kirk's wife forgiving the shooter. Erica. So both of those were very well founded. The thing I found most interesting about this story, and this is probably just me, is there is a lane here where Jimmy Kimmel could take a case all the way to the Supreme Court if he chooses on this regard. And you and I know this working in media. Yeah, because if you can get fired from a privately or a publicly traded company, it's not a First Amendment issue.
He's not fired, though.
I know he's not.
So you could you're going to build a case that you could still take a case even though he's back on air?
I believe you could.
Okay.
And so if you're working for Disney and they remove you from a show for something that they deem offensive, that's not a First Amendment issue.
I think I saw this on Madlock.
And so that's not a First Amendment issue. You can get fired from a broadcasting company. It doesn't have to be. It's not protected speech.
God knows we've been fired from broadcasting.
The thing that is the opening here is that the head of the FCC coming out and applying the pressure to force Disney to do what the administration wanted. That's the part of the First Amendment that even though he's back on the air, the whole Commissioner Carr saying we can do this the easy way or the hard way, and if ABC doesn't do what we want them to do, then this is going to just be more work for the FCC. That part of it, that is protected by the First Amendment. And so you could make a case against the Trump administration files $15 billion lawsuits by noon on Tuesdays. So if Disney and Jimmy Kimmel wants to bring this court to be a watershed case, I think they have a case saying when the chair of the FCC came out publicly, and the President of the United States came out publicly calling for broadcast companies to fire specific people, which they have done, that is a violation of the government's use of the First Amendment. So the government saying, if you don't do what we want, we are going to squelch free speech. That's the part that they could take a lawsuit up. And I don't know if it's even a monetary judgment. You'd have to attach some sort of monetary segment to the lawsuit. But it's really about the government overreach on free speech.
Yeah. So what happens next, and I would encourage everybody, if you have a chance, and I don't care if you're on the right, left, or kind of like a middle like me, listen to an hour of the president's speech at the UN and how unhinged it is and how crazy it is. And if Joe Biden or any other politician gave that speech at the UN, you would say there's a cognitive issue with them, right? Trump has always been crazy, but he's not crazy. He was crazy yesterday. And then look at what he posted on his Truth Social last night when Jimmy Kimmel was on, because Trump says basically that he's not done and that they're going to double down and that he's going to continue to pursue ABC and use the FCC to do that.
Well, and how do you not sue if you're Tylenol right now? Like the government, there's been some just wacky stuff in the 48 hours. And that's part of Jimmy Kimmel's monologue. He's like, I've had about as the worst 48 hours as the CEO of Tylenol. Because there's some weird stuff going on. What did you think of his speech? It was like an 18-minute or 25-minute monologue.
I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan. I didn't really care that much that he was on. I knew that we're going to talk about this today. He is the pride of Seattle radio. Like us, he got fired right here in Seattle, and I heard him talk about that a lot.
By a guy named Larry.
The thing that I thought was interesting, and we'll talk more about this in one of our other podcasts coming up, is when he got very teary-eyed when he watched the Charlie Kirk service. I tried to watch the Charlie Kirk service. It's 6 hours. The Charlie Kirk service is 6 hours. I tried to find some black people in the audience. I couldn't find a lot of black people out of the 100,000 people that were there. And I didn't see,
really 100,000?
Yeah, and they expected 300,000. I also didn't see a lot of black speakers and black pastors get up there and talk about what had happened. What I have seen, and I follow a lot of black pastors, and I used to be a pastor in a megachurch, right? And the thing about megachurches and the way you build a megachurch, and I can start a megachurch tomorrow, and I have 10, 15, 20,000 people in it. What you do with music is so important in a megachurch. People love the music. And the reason they love the music is because they love feeling the Holy Spirit, which is actually called dopamine, right? That music really gives you dopamine. And we saw that at this service. Even when Erica was coming out and you saw all these lasers and lights, everything you saw last night, the Mariner game, you saw at the Charlie Kirk service. I don't have a problem with that. I don't. A lot of people are like, oh my God, and where's the black clothes? And let's be celebrate someone's life. And you can celebrate someone's life all you want to. I thought it was extraordinary, though, two things. When she came out and she said that she forgave the shooter already. I don't think that's healthy. I don't. Jimmy loved it. He got teary-eyed about it. I don't think that is something we should be teaching or telling our children. I remember when I worked in a mega church as a youth pastor, we were told to do the same thing. So I did that with my father, but years later, I realized I actually should probably go to some therapy and talk to someone about this to process it. And I don't know how she's already processed that in a week or 2 weeks. If she has, she's extraordinary. But sometimes coming out, and we see this in relationships with couples or kids or our dad or whatever that is, forgiveness without processing what happened, I think could be very damaging. And so I think what she did, while he thought it was amazing, working in the church myself, I don't think that's healthy without saying, I need to take some time. My kids need to take some time. And we need to process this. And over time, the plan is that I'm going to forgive this person and forgive the shooter. And forgiveness is what it's about. Like, she doesn't want to hang on to that forever, neither do her kids. And I get it and understand it, and it makes sense to me. The other thing that was amazing to me is Trump was the last speaker. There were 50,000 people by the time he stood up to speak. He meandered all over the place. He said he couldn't forgive. He said that he hates his opponents. He always has. He can't do what Erica did. And people were streaming out as he go. And I thought there was 100,000 people there because of him. They weren't. They were there because of her. They were there because of Charlie Kirk. And they were there to mourn and celebrate. And Trump took a shiznit all over that, right? And so I thought it was very telling when I looked at that. I think when Trump goes away, I don't know that the MAGA movement goes away, but I would like to see the MAGA movement move a little more to the middle, and I'd like to see people on the extreme left move a little more towards the middle as well. And hopefully after what I saw at the UNN service, what I saw with Donald Trump's tweets last night with Jimmy Kimmel, and then what I saw, at this service overall, I hope that's the direction that our country is going. More in a minute.
Ron and Don, from radio to real estate. When you're ready to grab a cup of coffee and sit down with the guys, go to ronanddonsitdown.com.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Ron and Don Show. Let's lighten things up a little bit. Let's talk candy.
Yeah.
My son has a game tonight. I tried to give him a cookie last night. I was going to put some candy in his lunchbox, and he goes, nope. And I said, why is that? He goes, I only eat sugar on the weekends. He goes, during the week, Dad, I'm locked in.
Okay.
He said, and I can't be having sugar the night before a big game. And I said, why is that? He goes, I just told you, I'm locked in. He goes, when I put my hands in the dirt and I'm locked in, I'm like, hey, I get it. No sugar.
Wow. He's really turning into an O'Neill football player.
Anyway, I know Halloween's around the corner. A lot of kids are locked into that. I have a friend that lives in Madrona. And she said because they have the full-size candy bars and all the neighborhood competes, there's actually buses of kids that will head off to that neighborhood, and they get thousands of kids that show up in this 6-block area where kids will go.
A lot of candy.
Yeah, pillowcases of candy.
I have not had a trick-or-treater in years.
Yeah, anyway, a new survey's out. They give us the number one candy in all the land. Before we get to that, though, what's up with candy corn?
If you tell me candy corn's in the top 5, I'm going to be
You didn't
shocked.
see it? I sent it to you.
I saw it. I was trying to play it up. I was trying to say, I don't know what's in the top 5, but candy corn is
I don't know how.
year in, year out, it's the worst candy. And
I don't know.
I'm going to call him out by name.
Here he goes.
We have a friend.
Here he goes.
Wes Jones,
Yeah.
who used to work with us on Cairo, and now he's a great real estate agent on the east side.
Yep.
He is pro candy corn, and it has nearly ended our friendship.
Yeah, it should.
Like it's demonstrably the worst candy ever.
Now that you told me this, and I call
It's
him,
worse than applets and cotlets.
I ask him for real estate advice all the time. I'm still going to call him for real estate advice all the time because he's pretty smart about it, but I'm not going to like it. Now that I know he's a candy corn guy.
He's a
and I
candy
bet
corn
at
guy.
Halloween, he eats those little squishy, are they called? They're not
Peeps.
Called, Peeps. I almost call them. Yeah. Anyway, and Pez is right there too. Pez is fun to
Pez
play
is
with.
fine. Pez is good. Pez is almost a Smartie.
They're fun, but it's not a great
They're
candy.
almost a Smartie.
It doesn't have any nougat.
It
And
doesn't.
I love some nougat.
I thought you were a Smarties guy.
I love Smarties. I love anything that's tart.
Pez is almost a Smartie.
But if I'm gonna have chocolate, I gotta have some nougat. I gotta have some nuts in there somewhere.
I was
some
glad
almonds,
to
some
see
peanuts.
in this survey. It's hard though if you're planning this for trick or treaters.
Yeah.
The number one candy is Reese's peanut butter cup,
That's
which
it.
has been my go-to forever. But you can't do a double Reese's peanut butter cup for a trick or treat.
No.
With tariffs, you're spending like $6,000 on candy.
Well, what's sad to me, and normally what I used to do is get the jumbo bag, like at Fred Meyer, and by the way, candy is so expensive now, so I'd go buy
Have
it.
you seen the Reese's double cup?
Hang
now?
on, you're not listening to the story.
I'm just asking
so
if you
anyway,
saw a Reese's
I would
double
buy
cup.
the jumbo bag, and I would get the one with the bottle caps and the sprees, and then I'd have some other junk in there. I noticed if I bought it too early, and the reason I don't have candy in my house because I'll eat it all. Like especially when I'm working out a lot, your body craves candy, and sometimes I forget. hey, I got to be in the zone here, right? It's game day. I forget this, and I'll go through and I'll have one.
One bottle cap.
I'll have one bottle cap. I love the root beer, and then I'll have a couple sprees. I love the cherry, and then the next thing you know, the kids come and I look in the bowl, and I'm like, there's hardly any candy in there. Then I got to go get more candy, get the same thing.
No, you got leftovers.
Then they don't show up at my house, so I sit there and I'm plowing through bottle caps and sprees.
What is your stance on Pop Rocks?
I love Pop Rocks. In fact,
Right in your mouth?
My friend Tommy Bennett used to live in New Mexico. I lived in Illinois. We started a candy business. He used to mail Pop Rocks from New Mexico all the way to Illinois, and then I'm like, how do you sell these things? And I'm in third grade at the time, right?
They didn't have Pop Rocks in Illinois?
They don't have them. Didn't have them.
Really?
No. None of the grape, cherry, watermelon, nothing. Root beer. So he would send those to me, and I would sit there, and I would jump on the bus. I had to be careful with Ellen because she wasn't afraid to hit you. We had to sit girl, boy. And I would sit there, and I would sell. And for a pack of Pop Rocks, I would sell them for $0.25, which is a lot of money back then. Could be a lot of money now. I don't know.
These are 1955 prices.
I would sell those Pop Rocks for 25 cents. And then by the time I got to the 5th grade, guess what showed up in Illinois?
Pop Rocks.
Destroyed my business.
Yeah.
Destroyed my
I
business.
had a candy
but
business,
Tommy
too.
and I made a lot of money. For
We
a couple
sold, what's the sucker with the gum inside? The
the Blow Pop.
Blow Pops. We
Yeah.
had Blow Pops and Tootsie Pops.
Yeah.
And me and my friend Kevin made like $300, which is a lot when you're that age.
That's
And we're like,
that's a lot now. Give me Kevin's phone number. I want to make some money this holiday.
we're like, what do we tell our parents we've been doing? So we just and we was like, if we buy anything expensive, they're going to know. So we went to
Yeah.
the arcade and blew
Yeah.
$300.
We sold that, and we sold in the same box, and we would pass it around the bus. You just put your quarter in the box. We sold NFL pencils too. Did you sell NFL pencils?
Love the NFL pencils.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Anyway, Matt, any thought on candy? Any thought on Halloween
You
candy?
better not like candy corn.
Matt, when we ask you a question, we would like you to be near a microphone, and we would actually like if you responded. Give it
I
the
think
program.
it's best if I don't answer this.
You have no,
question.
you have no
candy
thoughts
corn
on
person?
candy?
I'm not. I have two modes. I
Yeah.
have the Don O'Neill mode, the bad mode that you described, which is I'll just eat anything just because it's
Yeah.
like there or
Yeah.
whatever. But if I'm being good, I like the Justin's cashew dark chocolate.
That's a good. That's an adult
that?
candy. The dark chocolate with cashews.
Nobody wants that crap. That's like handing someone a Mounds bar. Like who do you?
Hey,
you-
Mounds Bar's not bad. Is that with coconut?
It's horrible.
It's not that bad.
You know what?
Wait. Sometimes you feel like a nut.
No,
Sometimes
you
you don't.
You know what? When you take a bowl of candy and you put that on your porch and you let kids come, which is what I prefer now. If you leave
Mounds
if
will
you
be the
leave it
last.
on the porch,
And candy corn.
the mounds will be at the bottom.
And the
they
candy corn.
don't take them; they leave them. Right. All the Smarties are gone. All the Sprees are gone because I ate them, and all the bottle caps were never.
And
in
let
the
me
basket.
just say this, because I know we'll talk about this more during Halloween month.
we are in
these
Halloween. We
little-
are in Halloween month.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to talk more about Halloween.
Oh,
These little entitled Seattle kids taking 2 pieces of candy. It's one candy bar. They'll come in, see your bowl, and they'll take 3 or 4 items. I don't know who these parents are.
oh, I've seen kids dump the whole bowl.
That
and
is
then there's nothing left for anyone else.
One item per. You got to put some miles in, man. That's how you fill your bag up.
It's a war out there. You fill up that pillowcase with as much candy you can find.
All right.
Hey, you guys, thanks for listening to this episode of the Ron and Don Show. We sure do appreciate it. Don't forget, we are what? What are we?
We're red hot.
I say we're what?
Red hot.
We are REDHOTT.
No, RED, red HOT, hot. Once we start, we can't be stopped. Red hot. Hey, red hot.
Actually, red hots aren't bad.
Red hearts
Those
are
are great.
Red hearts are pretty good.
Cinnamon, yeah.
We
Anyway.
are real estate brokers, and we would love to do a sit down with you if you're thinking buying or selling. I just met with some folks the other day. Here's the cool thing: sometimes you meet with someone for a sit down, and it ends up that they, you can help them out and not necessarily sell their house, and just give them some good advice and know that down the road.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to help and not sell a house. I'm here to make money, folks. So I'm not here for free advice. So what were you saying?
Call us.
Yeah. RonandDonSitDown.com. That's RonandDonSitDown.com. If you don't want to sell your house, talk to someone else, because we sell homes. We don't talk about selling homes. We're here to sell, buy, invest. Anything else?
That's a little harsh.
What were you going to say?
No.
Yeah, we don't do that. All right. RonandDonSitDown.com. We'll see you next time. Thanks to Matt and Grace, my son Gunnar, our station voice, our good friend Charlie the dog. He's Ron, I'm Don. He's Matt Weston. Keep your head up and your shoulders back. We'll see you next time. You been listening to the Ron and Don Show. All right. You want to say it?
On the Ron and Don Radio Network.
On the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Well, that's it. Show's over. We'll see you next time on the Ron and Don Radio Network.